Happy to be here.
I'm so happy. You know, we both of the places that you did that you're giving the money to, St. A and Nia Imani, I did Positively Milwaukee's on them. So they're
Oh, good.
yeah, that was excellent.
Well,
So
okay, so Nia Imani has remained in my heart. It's not my first donation to Nia Imani, but I just, I call them up during this time and say, tell me what you need. And, they told me less than I even gave. I was like, wow, y'all don't need a whole lot, but okay. And so I literally called and said, tell me what you need. I had my foundation folks call up there and say, tell us what the women need, what the babies need, what you all need to get through this time. And I was so impressed with what that organization has been able to do for inner city women who are trying to get back on their feet. And I am reminded of my own mother, who was, striving to take care of 3 kids in the city of Milwaukee, and we were on welfare. And so my desire to reach out and help people who were like myself comes from the fact that that was myself.
yes, you understand. And Belinda, who runs that program, she does an amazing job, what she has done. And what, I was thinking about you, and I thought
tough love, she's good. She's tough love. She's tough love.
Yes.
It's what you need to be in that instance. Yes.
Yeah, she's changing lives, and it's unbelievable. And plus, she's changing generations because they're continuing on with their kids, and they're being
and she's paying back because that was her. She was homeless, and now she's doing the thing. So I believe that that's what you do. When I did a 60-minute story, and I end up doing the 60-minute story based on John Schmidt's Milwaukee Sentinel stories about what was going on in Milwaukee and trauma and poverty. And I was introduced to Tim and the wonderful people over at St. A's. And so when the pandemic hit, I literally sat down and went through names of organizations, names of people I used to work with, names of who could need help during this time. I literally sat down and went through a list of who might need some extra help at this time, and then started the process of calling up those people. That's how I ended up with St. A's. I literally am like, okay, do y'all need anything? And they're like, well, let's see. Well, we could use some computers or iPads so that they could do what we're doing right now, continuing their ability to help people regulate themselves and being able to have, counseling sessions with a lot of people who might have been disrupted as a result of the pandemic. So
and that mental health is so important. That counseling, and we can't stop that. And especially, we've seen in Milwaukee an increase of domestic abuse and even in deaths.
Well, I knew that was going to happen, Carole. I knew that 2 things were going to happen with this. Well, several things are going to happen. First of all, you're going to have more babies when you come out of here. 9 months from now, hospitals are going to be filled. And you're going to have more divorces because people are going to recognize during this time that the person that I have been with for 2 months is not the person I want to be with for the rest of my life. And now's the time to change that. Also, you're going to have an increase in domestic violence. You're going to have an increase in violence against children. You're going to have an increase in sexual abuse and sexual assault because those children have no way of reporting it and no way of being seen by other people who can see that they've been harmed, So I literally was, trying to focus for myself on where is the need, where is the need, where is the need. And those 2 organizations in Milwaukee are to come vetted and come with a resonance in my own heart for what it means to really take care, support, uplift people. And I am sharing my gift giving, not because I think that any gift that I give is going to change the world or I'm looking for attention for it. I'm sharing that because I know that there are a lot of people who are of means who are listening to us right now and would want to do something but don't know what to do. That is always the thing that stops people. They're like, well, I want to do, but I don't know what to do. So I'm telling you, these organizations that I have given to in Milwaukee are reputable. Not only are they reputable, but they are bringing the service where it's most needed in the community. And I know that there are perhaps many others. I don't know what those are, or certainly haven't vetted those, but these come vetted with the understanding that they are there to serve, and what they do goes directly into the community.
Absolutely, and it creates a cycle of goodness that really we need. And you know Milwaukee, and I mean, having lived here, are you planning to come back soon, Oprah, to Pat's Ribs Place?
No, I'm not. I talked to my niece Alicia, who runs Pat's Ribs Place, and I think they're doing a good job there. And was coaching her through the whole thing. I was saying, like, y'all are gonna have to shut down, and if you're not gonna shut down, you're certainly gonna have to just be doing curbside service. So I think that, you know, they have managed to move the tables farther apart. They've managed to keep their workers on, and we're serving people, you know, curbside. But I have no plans to come back. Normally I come back for Thanksgiving.
Darn.
But
right.
I don't have any plans, Carole, to go anywhere for the remainder of this year. And I am really okay with that, because until there is a vaccine for me, who has a pre-existing condition of pneumonia last year, and I still have some raspiness in my voice, and had some a bronchial infection. I've had a series of respiratory occurrences since that pneumonia. And I just don't think it's worth the risk for me to be out in major public places as long as there's no vaccine.
That does make sense. You know, Oprah, you mentioned your mom, Vernita, and she's no longer with us. And my condolences, I didn't get to see personally. But what would she say about your generosity through all of this? Because, you know, this is something that the entire world is experiencing. And you're really lifting millions of people. What would Vernita say?
Well, I think she would be not surprised, because I was always this kind of kid. I mean, when I was living in, you know, growing up in Mississippi, and candy was hard to come by, I was one of those kids that I wouldn't eat my candy until someone else came along to share it. I wasn't a na, I got the candy. I would be like, ooh, this is good. Don't you want some? You want some? So I was that kind of kid, and I still am the kind of person for whom whatever I get, like I just made some chicken in the house, and it was so good. I like walked around the house like somebody else is gonna have this chicken. I just can't, it is not as good if I just eat it myself. So that is ingrained in me somehow. I guess it might have come from my mother, my grandmother, whatever you have, you want to share it. So I don't think my mother would be surprised at all, not the least bit.
Well, you know, what has been the most painful thing for you personally, Oprah, about this pandemic? I mean, all of us have certain issues with what is going on, but what has personally been just difficult to absorb through all of this?
I've had no personal pain about it. For my individual self, I've had no, because my great gift is being able to adjust to what is. I do not spend a lot of time just in my spiritual self worried about the thing that I cannot control. So immediately even before we were in lockdown, I've been in my house since March 11th. That was before people started locking things down. So this is the thing for me, Carole. I came off the road. I had done a tour for WW. I had been in stadiums that were sold out. I met 135,000 people. I shook so many hands every weekend. I hugged, I kissed, I danced, I cried, So when the news started to be revealed that this pandemic, that the disease was moving across the country, I knew that the last weekend that I spent in Denver was going to be, I thought, if this tour was not ending, I would end it, because I no longer feel safe being out here in the world. So I came home right after that last tour stop in Denver, and I haven't left home. And
when was that? When was that, Denver?
That Denver last day, I think, was March 8th. And I literally have not been out of my gates since March 11th. And I am not the kind of person who worries about, because I don't because I don't have to go to work every day. So I know that there are essential workers who have to go to work every day. I'm just talking about the people who don't have to be out every day. Now feeling like they deserve to be out because the weather is warm.
Yeah.
I just feel like we are all safer at home. You're safer for yourself, and you're safer keeping, you're better off keeping other people safer. So I haven't had any worries because I accepted immediately. And a lot of people didn't accept. They grieved what they didn't have.
Right.
They were grieving what I wish I could do, and I wish I could do that, and I wish I could do that, and I wish I could do that. I stopped the wishing because this is what it is. And now I'm going to deal with this. So I'm not going to be out there. I'm not going to be on vacation. I'm just going to be at home. So let's find ways to make that work for ourselves. So I have two of my girls who I've known since they were 12, who grew up in South Africa and went to my school there and went to school here, college in the United States. And they have made it delightful. We have, family meetings. We're now working on a puzzle together, which I'm not very good at. We do movies every night. Stedman went to sleep on last night's movie, but we've made the best of the situation.
Well, flexibility is important to emotional health, and that's what a lot of people don't realize. And do you have a message for people in Wisconsin that might still not be taking this seriously? Anything you can say, because there are many people who say, oh, it's not.
Well, this is what I do know. What I do know for sure is that obviously this pandemic was biological and, hit everybody in all phases of the world, but it also, beneath every physical, biological existence, there is also something spiritual happening. And I know that if we do not get the lesson now, it will come back in another form and it will be harder. So I'm just trying to, for my own self, process, understand what this time has meant for me as an individual, for our family, and for the collective. And so for the people who are not taking it seriously, you don't take it serious now, you'll have another chance. You'll have another chance.